G'day guys, back on the job. Let's talk pressure cleaning poles and how price affects how difficult or easy a task may be in relation to reflecting the quality of the pole, the makeup of the pole, and in the end the flexibility of the pole to allow you to carry out that task, whether it's going to be slightly more difficult or easier having a better built, more rigid pressure cleaning pole. So we have three poles here that are roughly around the 7 meter mark. Each pole is dramatically different in price, and we'll see dramatically different in the flexibility of the pole. The first pole has 2 sections of fiberglass and 2 sections of aluminium. The second pole has 2 sections of carbon, 2 sections of aluminium, and the third pole is straight carbon composite. And from the flexibility test and the functional test, you'll see that there's a dramatic difference in using the poles, how they operate, and how easy or hard they'll make the task. Show you the difference in the severities of flexibility versus price. So first off, we have the glass and aluminium construction. We have a Mosmatic surface cleaner which weighs in at 2.6 kilos. So even though these are labelled as pressure cleaning poles operated from a pressure cleaner or pressure washer, it doesn't mean they need to be run at high pressure. So we can use them for soft washing. They can be run at low pressure to be able to carry out a rinse, and if you need to run at a higher pressure, we can do that in relation to more aggressive dirt agitation, graffiti removal, paint removal, and all the rest of it. So this first pole is the cheapest in the range, the glass aluminium. So with the Mosmatic surface cleaner at 2.6 kilos, you can see the flex in that pole, and basically you probably don't really want to go too much more. So the pressure poles can obviously take the quick quarter release tips in relation to controlling that pressure, whether it's 15, 25, 45 degree fan jets. The other way we can use these pressure cleaning poles is attaching surface cleaners for carrying out flat work application. So the next pole is a carbon aluminium pole makeup. So price wise, probably about double the first pole, and we can see there that that surface cleaner is nearly off the ground at 2.6 kilos. So a dramatic improvement over the first pole, and a bit of an increase in price in relation to your initial purchase price. The next pole is a straight carbon composite pole, and hanging that 2.6 kilo surface cleaner from that pole, we can see that dramatic difference in relation to flexibility. The carbon composite pole is approximately multiples of the first pole, and a bit more than double of the second pole. So you can see all prices in relation to specifications on our website. All the prices are seen at ionicsystems.com.au. You can pick up the videos there in relation to other techniques and processes using the pole. Our main YouTube channel is bluetongueindustries.com.au. On that Blue Tongue channel there's many playlists: pressure cleaning, gutter cleaning, window cleaning, everything else we do. So does price matter from this flexibility test? Hanging that 2.6 kilo surface cleaner from that pole. So if we're doing flat work, whether it's roofs, in relation to standing on a roof, safety with your feet stationary, carrying out big large sweeps in regards to roof cleaning, whether it's flat work in relation to glass cleaning, whether that's with normal tap water or purified water, or whether it is having a tip in the end and carrying out building washdowns. So the big dramatic between these poles with a tip in it in relation to the flexibility is if you ever let go of the trigger and you have the pole up in the air, they'll whip like a lasso, they'll whip like a whip, and the damage that can be done in relation to surrounding structure and even snapping poles is a real hazard. But we'll carry out those tests and you'll see that all in action. So we've got the system set up to do some flat work. So if you're cleaning those roofs, I just wanted to show you the difference, that 2.6 kilo Mosmatic surface cleaner on the end. And if we had to move it from roof to roof, over ridge or over pitch, I can't actually physically pick that up. When we do fire the trigger, it will alleviate some of the weight because the system will want to take off like a drone. We've only set up the pressure at 3,000 psi. The machine will punch out 5,000 at 21, and we could drive this surface cleaner to the moon, but we'll keep it at 3,000 psi across the 3 panels. And I just wanted to show you the difference in relation to how they operate. I can't pick that up. This is the glass and aluminium composite pole, the cheapest in the range. So when I do fire it, it does alleviate some of the weight. If I did have higher pressure on that pole and I did fire it and it took off like the space shuttle, that would come crashing back down. And in relation to crashing onto a tin roof would definitely make it a caracas. So we have some degree of control. If we're moving from roof to roof with it running, it's going to definitely be easier to be able to jump roofs. But as soon as I let that trigger go, we are sort of in trouble again. So we are sort of at that maximum extension around that 7 meters, but I just wanted to give you a comparison between the 3 poles. So this is, once again, the fiberglass and aluminium pole. So next pole in the range, we have the carbon and aluminium configuration. So in relation to lifting that 2.6 kilo surface cleaner, I still can't do that. So if we're jumping roofs before we start, it is going to be relatively hard. Once we fire that, we'll again alleviate the weight. Just set at 3,000. And that's somewhat easier to control in relation to that rigidity of that pole. And that reduced flexibility. So that's the carbon and aluminium pressure cleaning pole. So on this last flat surface demonstration, we have the carbon fibre composite pressure cleaning pole, the top of the range and the dearest in the selection. Once again set at 3,000 psi. And if we had to lift that from roof to roof, we can just, well, I can physically just do it without bending that pole to extremes. When we fire the pole, the rigidity of that pole and the responsiveness is totally different to the other 2 poles. So the control, it's a total different experience. Even in the water-fed pole game, water-fed poles come in at different entry levels. They'll come in at a aluminium, glass carbon composite, carbon, and then high mod carbon. And this is basically the same in reflected with these pressure cleaning poles. The water-fed poles will definitely be reflected by price in regards to their makeup and how they're made and their responsiveness and how they actually work on the job. And it's the same as these pressure cleaning poles, going from the yellow and aluminium glass fibre, which is the glass fibre and aluminium poles, to the carbon and aluminium to the straight carbon. It's just chalk and cheese. We'll flick over, we'll do some high work, and hopefully you guys will have a really good understanding. So we have the glass fibre and aluminium pole. So this is our entry level pole, and it is priced exceptionally well. So if you're using it once in a blue moon to get you out of get you out of that sticky situation, maybe it's for you. So 3,000, the same as the others. Now, the first impression is it's actually quite heavy. So I do have my ab region, and it might be one big ab, but working quite hard to keep that pole in the air. And if I give that pole a bit of a flick, you can see it is like a bit of a wet spaghetti, and I wouldn't like to let that trigger go in relation to then firing that pole again, because it'll whip back something dramatic. When I do let that trigger go, taking the full weight of that pole is substantial. So it's physical. The difference between the entry, the mid and our high-end pole is dramatically different in relation to the ergonomics. So at the end of the day, if you're using it for long periods of time, you are going to be exhausted using the cheaper poles. So mid-range pole, carbon, aluminium in relation to pricing. So just carrying out that tip work once again. So as we fire that pole, it is physically lighter, not dramatically compared to the entry level, which is glass. So it is still a bit of a struggle to get that up there and hold that pole up there. And if you're going to be pressure cleaning all day, it is going to be very labour intensive. When I flick that around, it doesn't move as much as the glass, which we'd expect. But realistically, for someone to hang off this for more than 20 minutes, half an hour, it's going to be an absolute exhausting task. And if you're doing it every day, all day, you'll be built like Arnold Schwarzenegger. We'll move on to the next one. So we're now going to carry out some high reach work. So we'll call it pressure cleaning. We'll sit off the building, 3000 PSI, and we've got a 15-degree tip. So this is the high-end carbon composite pole. You can see all our pressure cleaning videos on our website or on our YouTube channel in relation to the different experiments that we've carried out. So the poles are also available with an adjustable angle swivel on the end. That swivel, as you've seen in some of the previous videos, will nullify the pole, nullify the weight, and you can basically hold the pole with one hand. So are we carrying out pressure cleaning? We are. We've got a pressure cleaner, pressure washer, and we're probably about 1.5 meters off that building. What an awesome rinse. So if you've carried out your soft wash in regards to your SH, your soaps and surfactants, this particular way of rinsing is quite quick, and if we've got some stubborn areas, we can certainly sort those out. When we get in and give these poles a good flick, you can see the rigidity, the responsiveness of the pole, and it really is a pleasure to use. Hope you've enjoyed watching this particular video. As I said, all the information can be seen a couple of different websites. Pricing can be seen on our Ionic Systems website, which is ionicsystems.com.au. Check out the pressure cleaning page and all the other systems that we sell, window cleaning and vacuums and all the rest of it. Our main parent site, where all the other websites sit under, is bluetongueindustries.com.au. Follow us on the socials. Check out the other videos in the YouTube channel. I'll put some links below. We'll catch you on the next video. I hope you have enjoyed this presentation and learnt something, and when you go to buy your pressure cleaning pole, you maybe now think twice. Cheers.